is Miss Rebecca Brisbois?
That was close. Brisbois, you got it.
Brisbois, I got it. Okay, second time's a charm. Welcome, Rebecca. Where are you calling in from?
Thank you, Heather. I am calling in from Marco Island, Florida.
Awesome. And who shared earshot with you?
Susan did.
Of course she did. Our sage, our head of the medical professional side of our board, the amazing Miss Susan Rothman, and we are so grateful for her. She's been an amazing asset for all of us, and we know she's here to support all of us. So I appreciate that. So Rebecca, before we get into your story, what is it you're passionate about?
Well, that's a good question. Complicated question. If I had to answer that in a short way, I would say helping other people.
Helping other people. It's such a powerful thing to do, isn't it? So helping other people with what? Getting their lifestyle back, helping them just in general?
Well, I gave you like just a really general answer because I was a teacher for a long time and I was home with my kids for a long time. I've been in the health and wellness nutrition space in various ways. So kind of if I had to sum that all up, gotcha. I've always been in some way helping other people.
Hashtag educators. Always teaching, no matter what. We find those teachable moments every chance we can, don't we?
Right.
All right. So how long have you been living the shred lifestyle?
Not long at all. I'm pretty new. So and you tell me, Heather, like if you want me to just answer your questions or if you want me to just talk and tell my story, you tell me.
Tell your story.
Okay. So my husband and I moved to Florida almost a year and a half ago from Massachusetts.
Yay, New England. Sorry.
Yeah. Is that where you are?
I'm in Connecticut, Northeast corner, about 45 minutes south of Worcester.
Okay, awesome. So been pretty healthy my whole life, luckily. Not a lot of health issues, no medication, always kind of I was a teacher, like I said, taught kindergarten, first grade, special ed, stayed home with my kids for a long time. And I'm a perpetual learner. So I went back and did a degree in nutrition at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition in New York while I was home with my kids, just because I like to learn, and ended up kind of using that professionally and did some health and wellness coaching at a yoga studio where I was practicing for a while. I taught aerobics like way back in the 80s and 90s in the days of like Jane Fonda, big hair, colored like leg warmers and tights. That was me. Right. I thought like, oh, that's just a good way to get free gym memberships. Right. So anyway, so I kind of been in that space for a while. And then I was a certified trainer for a while in the early 2000s. And I kind of did everything health and wellness and exercise. I did Pilates and yoga and CrossFit and, all the things and kind of took for granted that I was healthy and my body worked the way it was supposed to. And then I got older and went through menopause and we moved to Florida, which was a really positive change for us. But after I moved here, I got diagnosed with both Hashimoto's and vitiligo, 2 autoimmune issues. And so, like I said, I'm a perpetual researcher, reader, learner. My PCP, who I like and is a very good doctor, when he was the one who told me I had Hashimoto's and he told me I had to be on a synthetic thyroid medication for the rest of my life. And I was like, so that I don't really like that answer. I don't think so. And also I was struggling with, I had gained weight and I was really struggling, like no matter what I did, it was just not coming off of me. And so I started researching and reading, which led me to, I read a book, I think it was called Stop the Thyroid Madness Part 2. And Dr. Dash was an author of one of the chapters in there about Hashimoto's. And when I read at the end of the chapter that he was in Florida, I said to my husband, like, I don't care where he is in Florida, I'm driving, I don't care how far it is. And so it was, wasn't that far. And that's how I met him. And then obviously Susan. And he changed my, I had some testing, more lab testing done, and I went on to a natural thyroid medication, which really helped to give me back some of my energy because I'm a pretty high energy person. But with this Hashimoto's, I was like falling asleep in the middle of the day. I just was, I didn't want to do anything. I wasn't exercising. My feet were aching. All kinds of weird things, which would prevent me from wanting to go to the gym or take a walk or do basically anything that was good for me. And when Susan was very slow and gentle introducing me to the ER shred and kind of let me get settled with my natural thyroid medication, my bioidentical hormones, all different kinds of things that were happening for me. And then she's, slowly told me about the shred. And I thought to myself, like, there's just no way I'm fasting for 2 days. Like, I can't do it. I won't feel good. I'll pass out. I'll have a headache, the whole thing that I'm sure a lot of us have thought, right? And Susan really held my hand and like coached me through the whole thing. Because I was like, what do you mean? How do I incubate the shake? Even though the directions on the Facebook page are very clear, it still was a lot to take in, right? And I felt great. Day 2 of my first cleanse, my 21-year-old daughter is here with us for the summer. She was like, Mom, what do you mean? How do you feel? It's like, I don't have a head. I feel okay. I feel great. And so, my first 11-day shred was May, I think. Not too long ago. Maybe it was early June. I can't remember. I'd have to look back. So I felt great. I started to sleep better. Everything's not perfect. My feet aren't back to perfect, but they are much less achy. I have more energy. I've lost 9 pounds. I'm back to going to the gym. I'm walking. I took a pickleball lesson the other night for the first time. So I'm just really, really excited.
And what I was hearing, like, the lost 9 pounds, you just kind of dropped in there like it was a side effect. And I love that, because what I heard is you got your life back. You were playing pickleball. You were back to the gym. You were moving. You were living. And I love that.
Yeah. I mean, I'd like to continue to lose more weight and get back to the weight where my body is comfortable. And I know that will happen. But for me, it was more important to feel like myself again and to feel like I wasn't just going to fall asleep in the afternoon or not really be productive. So.
Yeah, you took your life back. And I also like how you shared, when you were starting your journey and when you met Susan, you had a lot of stuff going on. And so you had to take it slow. And that's really important for people to take in, that you can't go all into something and be adjusting this and adjusting this and adjusting this and adjusting this all at the same time, because your body's not going to respond. So like, I think about the first 11 days and somebody who is a couch potato and they eat junk, and then they all of a sudden want to do the shred, but also hit the gym 7 days a week. No, it's not going to work, because it's not going to be sustainable. You have to kind of take these in chunks. And so you took your first chunk working with Dr. Dash, doing what you had to do for your medical reasons. And you were working with a medical professional, because we don't treat, cure, prevent anything with the ER shred. So you did what you had to do from the medical side. And then you were able to take on the food side and start to see those other results, because your body is battling 2 autoimmune issues. And that's a lot for your body to process on its own. So by taking care and, I love that you said no to what your doctor recommended and you looked for somebody else. Yeah. And we're allowed to do that.
Yeah. And he's still my doctor, but I told him that I was going to see somebody else, and that was not I didn't want to keep. And he was like, okay, great. Go get another opinion and see how that goes for you. And I really was kind of resistant to the idea that I had any food intolerances, because I never thought, I didn't have any digestive issues, and I still really don't. And I just kind of associated in my head, if dairy bothers you or gluten bothers you, that's how it's going to show up. Right. And I've now seen on the other side of that, like, there's so many things that, and I haven't introduced everything yet, but there's been some things that I had a glass of wine when I finished my 11 days and had a headache. I was like, okay, that was just coincidental. I'm going to try that again. Still had a headache. So yeah, it's been really fascinating.
And there are some treats, let's be real. There are some treats that we know there's going to be a negative side effect, and we brace ourselves for it. And it's like, we know what the outcome is going to be, but we make that informed choice. Right. Because there's been some times, there's a winery 7 miles down the road from me. I get it. There's sometimes I want to make that choice. I know I'm going to feel like crap in the morning. So is it an every night thing? Absolutely not. But again, it's an empowered, informed decision. And I really wish, and I hope people get from your story, really, that it's okay to seek out a second opinion and look for different ways to approach things. That's so huge. And I think people are scared to offend people. I think people are scared to offend their physician by saying, that's not really for me, so I'm going to go somewhere else. Or for at least this, I want to look into alternatives. And that's okay. We are entitled, we are empowered to do that.
Absolutely.
So I think people need to. And then you dig into that empowerment and you address your nutrition, and you get your life back. Somebody who was a former fitness instructor up here in crazy Massachusetts, because us New Englanders are unique. Let's just be real here, right?
Yes.
Us New Englanders are a unique breed.
We are. We definitely are.
But then all of a sudden, life happens and you end up with these 2 autoimmune issues, and your life just kind of changes immediately. But you do your shred in May. You have Susan coach you through it. So you said you weren't going to be able to do those 2 cleanse days, and Susan coached you through it. What would you tell somebody else who's telling you, I'm not doing it, I can't do 2 days of cleanse? What would you say to them?
Well, I guess I would really encourage them to just try it and to open their mind, because I definitely went in. I mean, Susan was very, she was coaching me all the way, holding my hand all the way. But in my mind, I probably never said this to you, Susan. I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'm just going to eat if I want to, because I'm just going to drink a shake. That was my plan. I'm going to drink a shake if I feel awful. And so I think I would tell that to somebody, like, it's okay if you don't, it's not like a do or die. If you feel awful, drink a shake, but you'll just give it a try, be open-minded, and you'll see how great you might feel.
Yeah. And you're feeling great. And so has your daughter, so she watched you do that 2-day cleanse. What was her thought?
She was sorry that she didn't join me. She felt like she's got a lot of gut issues that she can't get to the bottom of, but she didn't want to. She was like, I'll perish. I won't be able to go 2 days without food. There's no way I'll make it. Da, da, da. She's away right now visiting a friend, but she has been drinking my shakes. So we'll see what happens.
So stubborn, independent 21-year-old. I know nothing of the sort.
Right. Yeah.
But if mom's got it available.
Right. Right. She doesn't incubate it all the time because she thinks, I don't have the time. I'm gonna eat whatever. So anyways, but she's kind of dipping her toe in a little bit.
And that's all you can do, right? You lead them by example. I was messaging with Susan the other day. My 7-year-old yells at me if I don't incubate his shakes because his body digests them differently. Mom, you did not bubble my shake long enough. I am tooting. Like, you need to go back and fix this, right? They see what mom does and they want to do the same.
Right. Yeah.
And what a gift that is for her to be visiting you at this time, right? And how long is she with you?
For the summer. She's a college student, so she's going back to Tulane in August.
So you got a little bit more time to drip a little bit more, and then those care packages to the college dorms.
Right.
You might have a couple canisters, right? What a better way to eat dorm food than have a couple of incubated shakes.
Right. Yeah. She still tells me she doesn't think they taste great, but she drinks them.
Yeah, well, she's 21. We understand. This is what it is. We've all been there. Is there anything else on your heart that you want to share with our Shred community?
I don't think so, other than just thank you. Like, I'm just really grateful that I read the book I read, that I went to Dr. Dash's office, that I met Susan, that I got on here. I'm a big believer that things happen the way they're supposed to. So it was the right time, the right place. So thank you.
100%. Everything happens for a reason. And there was a